how do you ensure that kind of agrarian, large territorial republic? You make sure you don't centralize power. In fact, that there's no concentrations of power. So you kind of sum up the Jeffersonian position as the Constitution, on the one hand, limiting the power of the new federal government, but it's really the power of the states that Jefferson called the most conservative power design, the power of the states against the federal government. So those states are the hedge to protect your liberty as a citizen of Virginia or South Carolina or New York or whatever state you're a member of. So a small central government, very muscular states. If you can keep the head of government small, then you cut out patronage, you cut out any of the kind of corruption and cronyism that comes with patronage. So when that jutted up against Hamilton's program, which was based in a lot of ways on, it was on patronage, commerce, centralized banking, using the muscular power of the new federal government to expedite the commercial society. Hamilton was convinced as an immigrant to New York from the Caribbean that the United States could be the most wealthiest country by the end of the 19th century. And in fact, it was. But everything Hamilton wanted to do contradicted the kind of republic Jefferson wanted.
So how much of this is rooted in their own experience? Because you talked about Virginia is very much like this Jeffersonian ideal up until the Civil War.
Yes.
New York is very much like
Not so much.
this sort of Hamiltonian idea in the early republic. How much of that is just a question of, and Jefferson is here if you can secure some sort of self-governance for the states, there's a lot you don't have to worry about because you've already got sort of your ideal on a small scale. But how does that translate into a national program as opposed to just a leave us alone program?
Well, there's a note on Virginia should be that, so the suspicion of some historians is, especially for James Madison, also from Virginia, protege of Jefferson, is that because Virginia was the most populous state, the strongest state, the biggest state. I mean, Virginia encompassed what's now Kentucky and West Virginia. So this is a very large state we're talking about at the time. Well, of course you'd want the power of the states, some said, because Virginia is going to rule the United States. And where do most of the early presidents come from? They come from Virginia, right? So on the question of their experience, absolutely.